The two, one. No, wait. I wanted to press start. This one is not going. No, wait. No. Da 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 do. And that look na is so la na kanu badabadas. And if and if it neutralizes the mind, and you're like, well, let's listen into his mind. If we have this technology, let's see what he puts in with his passies. But it mutes it, but I can just use my eyes. So I mean, I guess that would be like the next, like, if you just want to get that deep with it, if you're like really that try hard with it, like if I want the danta do's and the tunta dampa does. Kind of like stomps you out quick. But dun. Ba dun. Ba bon ba. Perfect. Now I'm not gonna try and repeat that. Holy smokes. I mean, I can, but I'm trying to repeat that and like, Gift bingo is live. Wow, nice, great. That's amazing. You know, been going to the beach lately, a lot. Like, holy smokes. Go to the beach like, hey, yo. At least the last 2 days. But then like the last week, it was like the last 2 days. And then like the week before that, it was like the last 2 days. I'm getting a little sun. Not too much. I saw a fish yesterday jumping out of the water. It did like a little belly flop backwards. I didn't know that's how they jump out of water, but hey, if it's like, it's a big fish. And I was having fun, it looked like. It was funny yesterday. The air quality was bad, they said. A little windy too, but we went to Lake Mead yesterday, and then the river the day before that. On Sunday, we went to the river on Sunday. But Lake Mead sometimes gets dusty. When it's windy, it gets dusty. But yesterday it was calm. It was nothing. It was nice. Even though it was windy. Kind of swelly. When we're on the inflating. It was just me and my dad yesterday. Little boys trip out. He offered to. I wasn't gonna push the situation. But the car was already loaded. And I wanted to go, but then some things happened. Feeling unwell. I think it was a twisted, maybe, potentially, something. I don't know, I twisted my ankle yesterday and it's still a little sore. And I was thinking to myself, well, so I have a story, okay. But I was thinking to myself, I'm on a paddleboard, right? How do I twist my ankle on the paddleboard falling off? I don't know what I did to do that. But it was just a little bit, when I got a little bit of cutty cut. It's kind of like I was opening this one up last night, like, just trying to sleep. And then, like, funny enough, I got one yesterday. Like, this one was on Sunday, and then this one was yesterday. And I don't even know how I got this one yesterday either. But this one on Sunday was from the cooler. The cooler's going a little, and it's got a jagged saw-like edge. I'm like looking at it right now. I ripped it off at least, that part. But I'm looking at the culprit. It was on the right hand, right side. It makes sense. That's um, yeah. It was windy yesterday though. A little boys trip. We went out for a while. Although we timed it coming back, it only took us about like an hour, 20 minutes to get actually back from our location. I mean, I'm skipping around a lot, but oh yeah, that's right. When we got there was no one there, like the one other car, and then people, like, if they were out, but we didn't see it. We went to the, like, past the boat dock, or whatever you call that, the boat dock, the boat launch. Do you call it a pier, or is that like for ocean terminology? I mean, they have like tires and stuff around. I don't know what that does. We kind of went up close. We were going out on the outside of it, but like going that way. Like if you ever go to Lake Mead, you got like the left over to like where the wash is, Las Vegas. They let the water back in. And then they got like an intake little pump over there to the left side, and then you got like the boat launch over to the right. So when we got there, we went over to the right. But windy. The waves were splashing on board, and normally they kind of just splash like a little bit. But when they were splashing up into the front, they were like getting into the boat. Not too bad though. I don't know how long it took us to get to our spot, but we went pretty far. We went far, and then we took some charcoal and a little grill grate, and then just make like a little rock fire. Boom. Make this spot better. Obviously people know where to go. It was cool. It had like a little rock seat. I don't know. The campfire was already pretty much made. We just had to add a few rocks. The sun. That's right. It was supposed to be a bad day. The sun was completely pretty much behind clouds the whole day. So that was nice. It did peek its head out a few times, like when we were eating our lunch. It was poking its nose out. Like applied sunscreen like 4 times probably total, and we maybe left it 10:30, 11. I don't know. So like where the dam. So like okay, so we went off to the right and then went off to the left, because like we're not just gonna go off on Sunday. Backtracking again. On Sunday, talking about going off to the right and like where are you gonna go other than into a wall? On Sunday we're going over to our little cove area, and I was fasting. That's right. That's where we take this fasting. I was fasting. It was the 4th day. So just curious. Yeah, just curious. You curious about that too? I was fasting. It was the 4th day. We were good. We had the boat loaded up. I was on the paddleboard. I was swimming out. I don't want to blame my mama. But I was already feeling, I was already, holding things back. I was already holding things back. And then all of a sudden, some splashes. Holy smokes! That's cold down the back and in the front, on the face. And before that, fasting and just living off on my whatever I got. I was kind of feeling like a body vibe, like if I was getting like the lightning conduction, but only like at the top of my mind. But it was like a lot, like tingles, like if you ever have tingles in your fingers or anything like that. I was getting tingles on the top of my head, like I never had that. Like that was odd. But I almost puked. I threw up a burp. But it was like a burp with like almost like the reflex, but the burp, like I've been having hiccups and burps at the same time, a lot more often than not. And then if I like hold my burp back, I'll then maybe have a hiccup. So this one was like I was holding it back, and the burp kind of held the gag reflex back. And I didn't drink much water even to begin with that day. I was pretty much complete dry fasting. So the body didn't have really much to give up. But my dad, it was just me and my mom on our paddleboards. My dad's already like, yeah, man, like, 15, 20 feet out already. Like, hey, come back. And I didn't want to scream. I'm like, Mom, I can't, Jeez. I mean, I just did. I could have screamed, but like at that point, I was like, I don't want to puke in the water. We're just now getting past everyone at the boat launch. So he makes his way back, and I'm able to. I could already feel like the lightness on the board. Holy smokes! After just 4 days of fasting, I could already feel the lightness on the board. God bless. He pulls up, and I quickly jump over on, and like that's really when I felt like how light I had become. I weighed myself for the first time in a while. I thought I was closer to 300 pounds. It was 284 when I weighed myself like a few days ago. That was like on like day like 2 or 3 of the fast. I don't know, but 284. I thought I was closer to 300. Just because like what I've been through. But I put on a lot of muscle, but it's like a sleeping muscle, and there's a lot of fat like on top of things. I think, at least, I don't know, like what's fudge, what's muscle, what's fudge. It is a lot easier to pick up those batteries and put them in the boat nowadays. And then even like the board for the boat, I solo carry that thing. Like I'm building the house, like so yeah, he pulled up. I got over on his board, or on the boat, and I just kind of chilled out. I didn't get wet or anything. I maybe splashed my face. I don't know. I think I just drank. Oh, that's right. That's right. I knew I was gonna break the fast because like at this point, like I had already loaded up the boat, I had loaded up all the stuff in the car, just to make it easier. My dad, I did forget the actual boat. That was the one thing I forgot. If I'm thinking, what else did I forget? I think that was the one thing I forgot, was the boat. And he was just able to, open up the trunk and just slap that boat right in there. Like it wasn't a big deal. I stacked up everything up. When there's just me in my mind and I'm just looking at this empty space, it's like filling up my tummy with things, So there was room. There was room, but I did forget the boat. That was the one thing. We almost didn't even go because Sunday wasn't feeling well as well. I mean Saturday, sorry, but Sunday pulled through. So that was the one thing yeah. Oh, and then I guess didn't forget it, but the charger was it dead? No, we had the charger. No, yeah, we had the charger. It was that was Sunday, but it wasn't dead. Hold on, the story. No, no. Oh jeez. Oh my goodness. I've been off of the vapes. I still have these for proof. You think these started working again? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Looks like these are those are like old news. Not even gonna try them. I'll put my lips on that flavor. Ay ay ay. What a dusty remembrance. So we were going to our spot. Mom was quick. She had the double paddle on. She made it there before us. So there was this time. Sorry, I'm trying to remember everything. You know, I'm high. God bless. I'm trying to get to this time. You know, there was this time. But I'm trying to remember, like, what else did we do? What else did we see? Did we saw like a squirrel, tons of birds yesterday, like vultures. You know, I'm just trying to make sure, you know, scanning like a metal detector, collecting, you know, sifting. I got my butterfly net, my jellyfish catcher. Zap zap. So there was nothing much other than, so we get to our cove. And it's if you've ever been to Willow Beach and you've gone down river, you can see somebody spray painted something. Like, you can see somebody spray painted something on the rock, and it's like it's an interesting perspective, because when you're up there close and personal, you realize, like, oh, that's not like actually like these rocks sort of blend in. But once you spray painted that thing, you're like, whoa, that's like taking a magnifying glass to it. But like looking at a mountain and thinking like, oh, that's close. But then actually walking down there and like, oh. Yeah, whoever spray painted that, like, I don't know, but God bless. It is an interesting land point for the eye. I probably would have never, like, you know, I won't say never, but it is an interesting, like, alrighty then, point of view. Alrighty then, perspective. But that's where the cove is. Right, like the rock right above there is where the cove is. And I don't know, it's a nice little, it's got like some trees back there. Where like all the other places, like, not like that. This one's interesting. So before turning left into it, you know, me and my dad are just chilling, going forward. I had my back turned to him, and there was a boat going up river. You know, we're going down river, and I'm looking at him, just staring. And there's one lady, I noticed one lady looking towards me, and she starts waving, and you know, I start waving back, and you know, normal thing. And then, like, I don't know, 5 seconds later, maybe, it wasn't long, boom. I don't know, like, we've never like crashed the boat. We've never crashed the boat. But maybe lady, like, thinking back to it, you know, maybe lady was like waving like, hey, what are you guys, you know, your dumbos doing over there? And then I'm pretty sure heard some laughing, laughter from the boat afterwards. Just ay ay ay. What did I break my fast with? It started off. Oh, that's right. The one thing that I forgot. That's right. After puking, let's backtrack all the way after puking, or not after puking. After the belchy. That's puke for me. After that belchy, it didn't taste good, and it tasted empty, which is good. I don't want it to be bile. It shouldn't be bile. At least like from my understanding. It's never tasted like bile for me before, at least. Not like that. Although exercise and fasting, haven't been actually like. I take precaution, like we got air conditioned house, not like the 115-degree desert when you're out at the lake, but it's not like 115 degrees, but like whatever the car says, it's not 115 degrees. I don't know what it is out there. But the water feels nice. But I didn't get into the water yet. I was just now getting on the boat, trying to get something to drink. Let me turn that off. My pinky hit that. Because I'm trying to think and I'm fidgeting. Because a lot of stuff has been happening. Like, what the heck? I have to do all of this stuff to get my mind back on track. Like, I'm trying to stump my progression. Try and thwart my progress. Is that the right word? All right. So at the store, what do we get? We got some potato salad with deviled egg potato salad. I wanted to get something from the deli, right? Listen, I wanted to get something from the deli. I'm thinking, yeah, they're making this stuff, even if it is like some packaged ingredients, that's like sometimes like what it'd be at home. But it's not going to be like full of preservatives. At least like that's in my mind, like how things work. Like when you're making like the chicken salad, I don't know. I feel like when they got like that chicken salad up in the deli, like they got like a whole date and time that they can only keep that for. Plus hopefully it sells out and they make more. But for us, my family, we've just never gone to the deli, but it looks appealing to me. I don't know, some stuff. All right, so I wanted to go to the deli. And this is Sunday now. Wanted to go to the deli, and we already had snacks. We already had tortilla chips. I don't know, caramel popcorn, cheese dip, salsa, and we went to the store. I think that's essentially what's it. We went to the store to get fruit, fruit and potato salad if we wanted it. But I wanted to go to the deli. We don't normally go to the deli, but it was packed. So Dad, he discouraged me. He's like, it's gonna take a while. And he starts walking away. just starts walking away. And I'm like, come on. There's no like screaming across like, Dad, stay. Here, no, come, no. He just starts walking away. But it makes sense, Looking back, we're going to we're not there to stand in the line just to. We got the deviled egg potato salad prepackaged from the right of the deli. And then we got some grapes, some strawberries, some nectarines, and some oranges. I wanted to get cuties. I didn't try the orange. He just got 2 oranges. Strawberries were good. Nectarine was good. Grapes definitely had a little snap. So that was also breaking the fast. And then, so when going to the 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 Powerball was crazy. What was it like? That was 559. I'll settle up 5. And then 7, like, I don't know. That was wild. We went down to the state line to play that game that night. Godly, God, please, a little God, please. Like, holy smokes, seeing that, like, that was wild. So at the state line, they have this coconut water there, right? I might go and get it because it's in the fridge. But this isn't the same stuff. Like, you know, that was like the coconut water, like the death water version. I think that's what it's called, like the water in a can. That's all it is, right? It's water in a can. All right. So they got this coconut water there, and they got the pulp version, and then without the pulp version. I was like thinking, like, pulp, that sounds good, but it's like $6.99. I'm like, $6.99. They literally have the state line monopoly, like the if you're low on whatever you think, and especially if you have no whatever with you, you're gonna be going hungry. You will be going hungry. Potentially, you know, you go in there. What you got for? I see this prize, but it's state line. There's nothing. I don't know what they'll do. Hospitality is one thing or another. All right, so that's like a hawk to you spitting in your food for you, just because you asked me to make it, and I'm preoccupied. No. No, I would actually like working in the food industry just to see people doing that if they ever did. Like, what in the health violation? No. All right. Ay. I mean, now, like, me when I'm making like a hamburger, you know, I'm drawing it in a certain way. You know, I'm making sure the condiments aren't just, you know, and then, you know, I'm making sure it's nice. Yeah, I'm putting my symbolism on the bread before it's squashed. And then the fun thing about that is you got 2 buns, 2 sides. You know, that's like having a negative and a positive in life. And then you're really smashing at things. That's like what you want in every bite. So all right, where are we at? Coconut water. It was $6.99, way too much. But at Albertsons, I saw a whole different brand, and now it was in like a carton. Maybe I'll have to try. But on a fast, remind you, and you know, coconut water, I've tried this before. But you know, going back to things, you know, see what my taste buds are like. I crack that thing open, give it a sniff. Oh, kind of like tweaked with the, you know, twitched in my stomach just a bit. I took a swig. I didn't gag or anything, but I looked at the container and it's green. And believe it or not, Ripley's, it was green tasting, like a nice green coconut. Let me go get it. All right, so this is the stuff. No sugar added. Zola. The shelf life is great. August 2027. I've been having like Like somebody has the gosh darn defibrillator on me. Oh my god, it's a weird sensation. I was talking about like getting the zip zip up in the head. Let's try this. I give this a nice shake. Do they even say shake this or just drink it straight up? I mean, even with milk, they don't say shake milk, but I give that a nice little shake. Kind of smells like mango now. It's kind of grows on you. It was warm. It was warm. That's probably why. It tastes a lot better cold. This stuff was warm, like. But although, like, I had a cold water, like a real cold one that was frozen in the middle. But in the desert, they, I like them because they thaw so quick. I didn't want to start drinking on that because I had already started feeling like the buzzing. I'm like, I'll take it, like by ear. What's the consensus on drinking like that? This is probably like the second day or done. Probably should have been done the on Sunday. Just like I'm thinking like the backwash wise. I don't backwash like that, but 50 calories. That's basically what I broke the fast with. 50 calories, but that's for an eight fluid ounce. Maybe had like 25 calories. I'm like thinking like, oh, I also did drink one of those vitamin waters, which is weird because I found out while drinking the vitamin water that they have caffeine. Oh my gosh. And then like, oh my god, like what the and it's such a shame too. Not a shame, but like I was also drinking Monsters as well. Right off the fast. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna rip this. Because I was about to be ripping it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't rip it too much, but talk about gripping it. Talk about feeling it. Talk about being able to balance on that water and feel like it's still. All right. Well, it feels real still too, but it also feels real still. But not like real still, like there's still tons of work to be done. Not like no acrobat. Jeez, God bless, not even close. But okay. Was it the vitamin water? I was gonna talk about is it the B vitamins? Oh, electrolytes or something that they have with just with the smiley face? Like what kind of marketing branding? Let's vilify the energy drinks, but let's put a little just caffeine. Hey yo, ain't that the same thing? Isn't like or is it like the L-taurine or whatever? Is that what they're claiming? Is that the diversity? But not carbonated as well. Let's not let's not. But let's also not like like a 5-hour energy. Let's take a look at that. What's in that? Because I've never taken a 5-hour energy before. I don't know. Are they good? Are they bad? What do they taste like? I don't know. I've never had any of them. Okay. God bless. That was pretty much Sunday, honestly. Like it was a chill day. We went out a little bit. We tried out the snorkels. The snorkel for whatever reason you could blow in through your mouth, but you had to breathe out through your nose. And I tried it too. I was in the water, I tried it. Alright, so I don't think I'm gonna finish this. I don't want to gag, you know what I'm saying? Coconut water like this, just, it hasn't been for me yet. I love coconut. I love coconut. I love it. Absolutely love it. Like, there's been a lot of different coconut things that I've tried. There hasn't been one coconut thing I haven't liked. Except coconut water, which is weird because it's like, we've even tried to get like, you know, regular, you know, coconuts, but like, come on, like, talking about like going to the store and seeing 3 onions. You know what I'm saying? Or seeing 2 avocados. One's sweet and one's not. At least to my, we eat Mexican avocados here. I don't eat no Floridian avocados, but from my understanding, they're sweet, right? Are those avocados from Florida? I'm not 100% sure. Let me look. But it's a sweet avocado. Are you kidding me? What in the unguacamole? Is my laptop dead? Lappy. I know I've been kind of not tending to you lately. He's dusty. Avocados from Mexico, and then they're Florida avocados. Those are the Florida avocados, aren't they? Where else that's like seeing 2 palm trees. Like, I got this palm tree here, but over in Florida, they eat the hearts right out of them. Oh yeah, look at them green old things. If you get one of them Florida avocados, you're gonna be leaving that on the counter for a while, letting that ripen. Now just think about that for a second. This was the right variety, I thought. You just didn't do enough research, it seems. I don't know. I'm sure they maybe get green, like brown. I don't know. Do they? I'm not doing enough research. Now these seem like greener than the leaves. And those look at that big old pit. I'm talking about taking up more pit than the meat. Although the Mexican avocados can kind of get like that sometimes. Ooh-wee. I can eat a whole half of avocado right now. Are you kidding me? But Mexican avocado. I'm thinking about that. Oh my god. Let me taste another one. Let me taste another swig of this. Hold on, just wait a second. It hits the taste bud when it hits. Alright, let me back up. Alright, we researched that. Where are we at? Coconut watered it. Oh, what did we have, I guess? What did we eat? Had the coconut waters, some energy drinks. I started off when we got there, after setting up stuff. We didn't have to set up too much because we got there late, like around the same time. But we left at 6, so we left at a different time. Where we left it, we got home at, what time did we get home? We left our spot at 3. It took us hour 20. We got home in maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. Like coming home, you see Avenue I, just off Lake Mead, basically. No. God bless. No. um. So hot dogs. We had some hot dogs. We brought the charcoal, and the gas, because that spot, it already has a pre-made like little pit. It was before us, but we sometimes have to. This last time we didn't. The crawdad situation. There was one down, one partner down, and none around. And it looked like behind the campsite, we picked it up a little bit. I got a Bud Light can top or two, not a Bud Light, a Corona Bud Light. Have I had Bud Light? I think I had Bud Light once with the buds. That was what we were shotgunning, I think. Was that Bud Light? Just once. Hey, what was I gonna say? Right, I cleaned up the site, a couple Corona can tops, and then there was a dispensary weed tube that we got. Cleaned it up just a little bit. A little bit after getting there, I had some chips. That's what I started with, really. I started with chips. Oh, we also have some dog nuts as well. Some donuts. Some good old donuts. The Hostess ones, that was chocolate and crumb. And we only opened up the chocolate ones. I only had a few. But I was like sampling, it was sample time. Like, I started doing the math, like, okay, 140 calories on the chips, but it's like 17 of them. 40 calories on the dip. I didn't even open up the salsa, but still haven't. I don't need to calculate that. I still don't need to. But I'm like thinking, okay, we're there. 10 calories on the zero monsters, 10 calories on the zero vitamin waters, 100 calories, because some of the vitamin waters, they were 89 cents, but if you buy 10, ringing them up regularly, it was like $2.29 or something like that. And my dad's like, okay, and I'm like, just wait a second, they're right here. If checkout is right here and the stand is right here, like, and the entrance into the self-checkout is right here, that's where the stand to the vitamin waters was. So I grabbed another 5. But at the time, I was just grabbing 5, and I didn't realize there was 0 and non-zero. But I guess it's like, I don't want to completely drink empty calories. But I also didn't want to overload with calories. Oh, that's right. I got into the water when we got there, relatively quick. And I was like panting, breathing. The water's cold. 40? Is it 40? Like 35 degrees? Almost freezing. What is this? Some cold water. But after getting out, one interesting thing, it's sad, but it's the reality of life. Being in the water, it helps you with your buoyancy. But if you don't have knees to pick yourself up, then it's a lot easier to never go down. But after fasting, it was like boing. Oh, buoyancy. Talk about buoyancy. And I was even able to do that on the paddleboard, which when before, like trying to do like a little squat, like if I'm pretend surfing, like building those muscles potentially, like if I ever want to like wander down like over where like water actually moves. Yeah. I didn't do too much paddleboarding. We didn't do too much. We went over to the rock and jumped off that a bunch. I don't know, like 3-4 times. Not much. Not much at all. And chilled. I jumped in the water a bunch and did like because realistically, being 6'5", I could jump in at like the 4 feet, the 3 feet, but it's just interesting to me, It's interesting to me. Like the 2 feet, is that right? Like the 2, 3, around there, 4 feet. Not 4 feet, like that's more of a given. But like because we're talking about buoyancy again, and just like skim the top of the surface, but then like having to realize I got to pick my knees up into myself and like kind of like buoyancy myself back up like a buoyant buoy. I'm a buoy. I'm a happy buoy. Yeah. Hopefully you get that though. But being 6'5", it's like, okay, I'm here, but now I'm full squat position. I'm like literally full squat position. So I need to have the power to like boink up. And if I don't, it's gonna look like I got my hydraulics on or something, low riding, and I'm using the tide coming in to help. I mean, I'm sure you can relate. Dang, I go to the beach and find the depth where that makes sense. Okay. So that was that. I did a bunch of jumping into the water. A lot more sunscreen that day. The clouds were coming in to the if you were looking downstream, the clouds were on the right of the canyon. They were moving in onto the right. And the sun, it was clipping it at times, but they were pretty much keeping to the right of the sun. Which was good. I didn't mind. So sunscreened it up. We remembered to bring our table. We've been using the cooler as a table, but in the back of the car we have like a little foldable table that we've been meaning to get. I remembered to bring that. Like didn't remember the boat, but like that was on my mind because we've forgotten it maybe like 3 times we've mentioned it to each other now. So I'm like, okay, and we utilized it. So it was basically snacking, water, then back. I didn't have too much chips. I had a little bit of popcorn, again, like a couple donuts. I don't even remember how many. It was a few. Some fruit. I ate the nectarine. That thing was jamming. What are the things again? Nectarine. Not. I had talked about this. Why is that not you little nectarine? All right, so we got pear, plum. I throw the pear in there just because that's going to shape things. Like obviously you see in that mind and that's different, but to compare them, might as well, because the tangerine wants to come out too, and like tangerine with nectarine, and what's that one in the middle that's missing? Peach. Boom. Peach. And a little erasing there, huh? Just whoopsie. Just 1 or 2 things maybe. Oh well. Oh well, huh? Well, it took a little while to climb through the mine. That's why I gave the pear and the tangerine there. Well, what happens is, let me take this, but just substitute it with that. So this, when I take that, it has a link back to that. So I'm like a mechanic, I guess. Here, let me take another swig. Some of these things, some of these tastes, I'm gonna have to They're acquired. All right. So, I mean, it's not bad. The gag is like, it's not there, but it's a mental thing. Like, I see the green, it tastes green. It doesn't taste like coconut to me, but it does. But I'm getting more of like a cereal, which is weird. Which is kind of like what I tasted the first time, you know, too. I started thinking, like, were they just grinding these things whole? Probably, huh? Like taking them through the full juicer, like industrial. Like, we're gonna get every little drop, oil, residue, liquid. I don't know. That would start to juice the oil, though, huh? I started thinking about that. Wait a second. This is product here. This is water. This ain't no petroleum mix. Look in the back of the ingredients. Yep, I even just verified it. MCT oil. I was gonna say no MGO, but GMO oil, whatever. MCT or MTC. MTC. We didn't have much of it. It was bland. Like, what are you gonna do with this stuff? I get like, what was the option? Like cold press. I don't know. I think that's what we got. Is that what we end up getting? Cold press. I think I'm trying to run through the options. That's for coconut oil though. We don't do much coconut oil nowadays. I used to do like fat bombs. Geez, fat bombs. They were like peanut butter cups, but made with like just a ton of coconut oil and butter. Coconut oil and butter. Basically coconut oil, butter, peanut butter, and like chocolate, but like, you know, dark chocolate, and a artificial sweetener like stevia. I think we used the liquid stuff there in the end, the liquid stuff. Yeah, and they were sweet. I knew what it was, you know. But you know, being there and having that, I go without. You know, a lot of the times there were the times where, you know, buttery, yeah, coconutty. The peanut butter is light, and the chocolate is there. And the bitterness isn't lacking. No, no, it wasn't bitter. But because, you know, the liquid, you know, and realistically, taste buds change quick. I ain't gonna lie about that. When you've been without and the body's at least craving something, it's interesting. All right, so what else? You know, played in the water. After that first shiver. I you know, got in the water a few times just to make sure there. After that first shiver, the first one, and I could feel too. Like I talked to my mom because I sort of snapped at her like, "Mom, geez, I didn't want to get wet." I was splashing my glasses and everything just a little bit. Yeah, I was excited to be there, I'm sure. But when I got in, I got like the head to toe chills, and I'm like thinking like, potentially, you know, I apologize, like I said, but you know, who knows? Not to blame. But I did sort of snap. I was like, dang. I didn't blame her that, like, you know, just made me puke, but I said after the fact, once we got to our spot, I just got full body chills from doing that, and I was like hyperventilating in the water. and it was a full like going from, because my thinking was, when I was telling her, I went from, and thank God my dad helped with the other battery, because I pretty much helped get things into the boat. He helped with the other battery because I was already like toasted, burnt, getting the one, even getting the stuff into the car. And like I said, loaded all this stuff except the boat. I was ready to go, but I went and laid down and took like a 2-hour nap. Like, it was quick too. Like, I hit the bed and I was like, ow. I wasn't 100% certain we were even going still. But I hit the bed. I went. I laid down, was out. I woke up and I came out and I was like, Are we doing this? And my dad's like, yeah, I got the boat and everything's tied up. I'm like, I asked him again, you got the boat? Like, yeah, put it in the back. I still didn't even believe him, honestly. We, went with the flow. When we went out there, and did I have to go out there and check something? I forget, but yeah. Because it was such an odd, like, I was up ready, I got everything loaded already, and we were supposed to go earlier, but we ended up, like I said, like getting there around like 10:30. I put these in. Supposed to, but we didn't. So I was burnt. I was cooked. It wasn't bad helping put the stuff away, which is good. And I had like 3 hot dogs. It was fudge. Call me a fatty, but so the first hot dog that I had, I think they were pork hot dogs. It was a jalapeno cheddar hot dog. I put it on a bun with a little mayonnaise and a little bit of the liquid cheese. I did exactly what my dad did, except he didn't put mayonnaise on his bread. My whole underneath sublingual glands, they were just getting wrecked, and I could like pull my tongue up and like poke, like right there, if you can see that area, like right on the left side, like right under there. I could pull my tongue up and poke that area and like just feel it. Normally it gets swollen under here, but it didn't get swollen. And it won't be like swollen where like I don't think it's like really visible, but I can feel like a little knot there, but the sublingual glands on the left side, it was just getting wrecked. And like I said, I could pull my tongue up and just like the pimple in the roof of the mouth, that would, it goes away like 10-15 minutes after eating, and those are visible. But this one, I had to, I could feel like a knot, but it was on the inner of my mouth instead of like the lower of my mouth, which is weird. I was thinking it was the hot dog because I had the cheese. I had the cheese and I didn't have the salsa, and there was no salsa, so I was thinking it was the hot dog or the bread and the mayonnaise. But I ate the whole hot dog, pinch and all. Then I had a cheddar, but I had that without the bread. That one didn't have a pinch. I let the pinch sort of go down, but by that time it was like, oh, I guess if I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But it went down. By that, let it cool down a little bit. Them things are hot. Those aren't like cool dogs. They're hot dogs. So it was just a cheddar dog. It was another pork one. But it tasted like I was at breakfast. Just a little bit too much. And then I went back to the. Is that what I did? I went back to the. I had 3, yeah. I wanted 3. I went back to the jalapeno one. But I tried that one without bread as well. And that one without bread tasted a whole lot better. That was night and day difference. That had no pinch under the mouth or anything like that. Like that was like okie dokie. And it was funny. I was messing with my parents, just memeing and trolling. Like, we're living in a time and in an era where our food is packed. Like, if you're not living off of the energy that you're getting off of this stuff, I don't know where you're gonna go and be feeling alive. Like, this stuff is like packed. Like, if you look at the back there, you can see like they put the facts. Like, you know, just memeing. But when it comes to having the salsa and chips and being fine, and then having the hot dog on bread with mayonnaise and not the salsa, I call it salsa, but the nacho cheese dip, you know, the glass jar stuff, having that and being fine. I put that on the bread, and now it's with a spicy jalapeno dog, and I'm getting pinches in the mouth. But I, you know, dissected it. Maybe I was, you know, I built up a little immunity, you know, air of possibility. There is that potential, but I definitely didn't want to go full-fledged with the bread and all. I knew that was a no-no. It was pinching hard, and that was pretty much it. Eating wise, we didn't bring, you know, didn't bring much. Did not bring much. Trying to think. Yeah, that was basically it. We went back. I felt a lot more stable on the paddleboard. Went back. And then there was Sunday. There was no one there. We got there. It was basically just us and the one car off to the right and people on the boat. Whoever. I mean, off to the right though. Like we went over. They created a new berm. So we went over the new berm. It looked like a new berm. I don't know. Going down there sometimes, it looks new every time. Water's always coming and going. All right. Like, oh, some real landscapers over there now. All right. So we went over the berm. So if the berm's here and we're like here, and the boat place is like, so here, you know, okay, Pinky's there. Okay, that's good. But berm is here. Yeah, about, you know, right here. Here. Boat place, now Pinky's drifting over to the left. Boat place is like here. Car would be like maybe here. And again, like, I'm already getting like the geographical map. Like, I need to extend this because this left hand is drifting, so, you know, I need to extend it a little bit more, because there's like a little fishing dock sort of here, so they were far off. Basically, we got there, you know, started blowing up the paddleboard, started blowing up the boat, and I took a dip. I haven't swam in Lake Mead like that in a while. It's been a while. I start feeling like this lake and run off from Las Vegas and getting the city drainage. Nothing but just a big old swamp pool. Nothing but a big old man-made, muddy, yucky canyon in the desert. Call this an oasis. It smells like the sewage. It smells like what are they called? The ditch. It smells like the ditch, the runoff ditches. there's a certain allergy that grows. I don't know about this stuff, but if I talk through it, I don't have to taste it. Oh my goodness. Okie dokie. So, a Sunday, I went for a dip. I went swimming like over to the buoy. I didn't realize how quickly I was drifting. It was very windy, like I said, waves quick. You really gotta like swim with them, or you're gonna be like getting splashed. Like, oh, another wave, I miss it. Another wave, I missed it. Another wave to the face. Again, another wave. You can't be doing these. You're taking in too much water. You're already sinking. Another wave. Whoever taught you to swim, tell them go away. Like those sort of waves. It's nothing compared to the ocean, but still, it gives you a little bit of like a it gives you a little bit of assimilation. You get your journeying pants on. I didn't make it to the buoy. And not because I didn't want to, but because when I turned back and I looked how far I was gonna have to be making an angle like this now. Like at first I was going like that, and then like Pythagorean said, basically, it wasn't too bad though. Again, acting like a buoy, I'm just swimming with my feet, not exactly breaking the top, but not really breaking below. And swimming in like a little alligator I can be. And when it's waters like that, it doesn't matter how shallow it is. It seems when it's that muddiness, because it's just all murky. Like you can try and look down, but it was probably like 2 feet, maybe. It wasn't much when I stood up. I'll give it 3 or 4 at times, when maybe 3 or 4, maybe. It changes quick at Lake Mead depending on where you even go out. Like sometimes it's a direct launch like that. Sometimes a little bit like flat. Sometimes you gotta find them like that. And I don't even know how it goes, honestly. I really don't. But I know, like being over by the canyon, like the rock slides and everything. Like when the rocks that are underwater start to slide, and it feels like they're taking your foot with it. I don't know, it's a weird feeling. Like it's the feeling of like, well, I guess I can use my weight to sort of slide down, but if I ever need to, I do have that buoyancy to just sort of kick up off. Because the rocks sliding are just, wow, it's a little dangerous. Just a little bit. You have to lean into it. You can lean your back, put your back into it. You know what I'm saying? Put your back into it. So we launched. We launched off. We're just now launching off, and it's windy. There's not much dust kicking up. The only dust that's kicked up is actually not dust. It's just smoke. And maybe there's just there's too much smoke saturation for the dust to even be considered as something that could be kicked up. And not, that's like a weird science, but it was windy, and we've been down there days. I don't know how windy it gets, but it was windy enough where days where it's been like sandstorm, spitting in the face and dust is everywhere. So not to do that. We'll say since the water is receded, the wind has come through many times and taken all those particulates that normally would have washed up when it's yin and yang like it does away. And for that day, that was the day the smoke had. There was not a day, the dust had already had their time. For that day, the beach, it was ready just to be used. Wind or not. It didn't matter. Other days, if the wind's there, well, and you got, like the cloth over your mask, like your Burning Man festival. And that would be like over at Lake Mead would only be like the miniature, right? I've never been down there at Burning Man, but I can only imagine like Lake Mead would be like the miniature, like when it's dusty and just it's small, just small little sandy, small little dust, small little sandy little, like gets on your skin and just feeling that small little sandy little and the small little sandy little, and it's not salt. It's small little sandy littles. Little granules. You might as well say granules. I like the small little sandules. Yeah. But the granule, a granular, not grandeur. Granular. Granular. It's yes. It's fine. I'm trying to define it, and it's sandy stuff. All right, next. We launched off. It wasn't there. I mean, who cares about it, It's been moved. It's moving, but it's been moving, and it's been moved. So that's why, it'll come again when the water moves again. I think, right? Is that how it works? Or maybe it just wasn't windy enough. It was pretty windy. Maybe the wind just wasn't hitting it right enough. Okay, we launched. I already talked about launching before. That's like we launched before. Like we talked about launching. Like we started Monday and then went to Sunday. Like we launched backwards to begin with. But we're launching forward right now. But we already talked about launching forward, so we're like kind of launching backwards still. Dang. In a way, I guess you can consider that. I mean, realistically, no one's going to want to hear a story that lasts this long. But if I just drop like little petals and stuff, it's easy. I mean, what's the other? I don't know. Oh, like adding the salt and pepper sugar to my coconut water. I'm just missing a few ingredients. Is that it? That's kind of telling, isn't it? Alright, so I've been having fun. And with that fun came discord. Oh, I guess I could talk a little bit more about Monday. We're over launching the boat, and we went to the right, and we see the big wall. So we go to the left, and we're going to the left with the big wall to our right, the canyon wall. Like the wall, like where the bridge. They got the bridge, the dam, that big wall. Got the canyon to the right, the islands to the left. We're moving, we're going. We jump out a few times. We hook the paddleboard to the side of the boat. I get on the paddleboard. It feels stable. Like it felt better than Sunday. Like if Sunday felt good, then Monday felt great. You know what I'm saying? Even if I was sore. Even if I was sore, which is interesting. Which is very, very interesting. You just have to push through, you know what I'm saying? Which, I already had the things to do on the to-do list, like to-do list here, push and pull, to-do list there. If I don't push and pull, then they're already going to be pushing and pulling, and they're not going to feel like the push and pull that you push and pulled. But they're going to say like, oh, we push and pull, dude. Like, here's our, this is bro stuff, bros. Like, push and pulling, dude. Not push and pulled yet. You're not push and pulling through. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. No, seriously though. It was on the to-do list. I won't lie. Because again, like, well, if yesterday felt good, great, but I felt tired today, but I tried it felt even better, but pain no gain, and you don't want to play, then you're staying same. I don't know. But I just did have a big to-do list, so let me off and look at all the time it's already gone flying. When I'm not doing too much on the to-do list, but I have a lot to do on the to-do list, but then I just go silent, like people are gonna be like, well, dudes do the to-do list, or dudes like to do out, dudes like to do done, dudes like to do wants to do with no one. But then I'm like thinking like, I've been on the to-do list doing like getting the to do on. But if you haven't been like, I guess I talked about like, just to sidetrack a little bit, like battle royale, the circle that shrinks on your ass. Like people have been wanting to play battle royale, it seems, and that's the circle that shrinks on your ass. Now that's funny fucking shit. That's fucking funny. That's fucking funny as shit, honestly. I just now had that realization today. I had that realization today. That's that circle, and you're looking for that chicken dinner. So you're only gonna have that team that's the winner circle. You know what I'm saying? Okie dokie. So that was just a little sidetrack. We jumped off a few times. It was rough, like it was windy, but we were making good distance. We were making good time. With our car being really the only car out there, we could look back and see it, but interesting sight. Air quality wise, the nose felt fine. I felt fine. And it's funny. I told my dad, I memed yesterday about the calories being so packed. But with the sun, being clouded, we're going to be using more of our lungs today, maybe. Our skin, not going to be taking such of a beating. But the lungs are going to have to take the cycle for today. Just another meme sort of thing, but a meme with reality, actual integrity, complete honesty of what's gonna be happening. I mean, all right, so we were pretty much on our way. After we got past it was hard to get past the left turn, past the first past the boat docks, and past the first real big island there when you get to Lake Mead. After that, because the wind was like hitting us straight in the face, it was being like jet streamed right through there. After we hit that left turn, smooth sailing. Like it was, because now we had that big right wall kind of hitting us as a windbreak, plus the island. Like not really like, yeah, we had a few gusts coming straight at us. Not too many. Not too many. Oh, I backtrack to Sunday. We did put the canopy up, and there was one gust of wind that just ripped through. We were basically already packing up, but there was one gust. We still had the canopy up, and it flipped it, completely turned it over. We need to get like sand stakes. We have stakes. We didn't stake it down, but we had it tied to the tree. You know, we had it tied to rocks. I'm not sure if all of them, popped off, but it definitely flipped. It definitely flipped. The front ones that were tied to rocks. And we've been talking about a new canopy. Like they have the canopies where like they have like cuts in the top, like 4 slits on each corner to like when air comes through it vents out. Ours doesn't have that, like a big old parachute. So that was that. Now backtrack, progress now to Monday, but also again going back. Oop. Let's not do that. We jumped out a few times. Didn't need much sunscreen on Monday. Again, like I said, like 4 times, not much. We finally found a spot. It was basically where, is it Temple Bay? We don't know where it was, but there was like 2 or 3 cars all the way on the other side. All the way on the other side. Even had a little canopy propped up. But we were basically like over on that end, because taking the left, now going away from the boat docks, we had lost sight of the boat docks and we're around the canyon. So we were basically at the point where the 2 canyons that made the dam, which just kind of gives me like, ooh, we're getting ready for the falls. Just in case this happens, we're gonna be coming. We're already ready. I'm sorry. Yeah. My goodness gracious. But yeah, so basically where the 2 canyons meet, or have that little intersection in between, that form Hoover Dam, we were basically we were there as the one canyon lips around with the other canyon lip into it to make that that point of construction, that point of propage of I was telling, just memeing again. We're gonna need if you guys aren't your skill set needs to be this high, you're not even gonna make it to the rope to climb. Ay. Hey, like I said, I need to work on my pushing and pulling as well. So I hopefully I'll get there. Because that's no joke, right? That's real stuff. Dang, imagine people make like simulations for that nowadays. I wonder like what you have. Well, if you can do this, you can do that, and if you can do that, let's try and put you on this. and like, you know, like, well, no, but and does, and if I was telling my dad while we were going out, we're meant to be on, like, talk about like being in the water, but on the water. Like, we're meant to be on the water as well. Like, you could just feel it, like in my hips, like in my body, like it's sure not like walking on concrete for 8 hours a day, or anything. So I do have a story though. But first, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's still Monday. But even though it's Tuesday, it's still Monday though in the mind. Getting to our spot. There wasn't too many places to, you know, we passed the islands. The islands are on our backside now. They're in the complete rear view mirror. But we have that canyon to the right of us. We found a spot. Like I said, there was a bench, like a rock chair. If you remember, if you're still here, it's a long way to go. I took pictures. I might post some. I don't know. Thinking like, maybe I might. I don't know. I was trying to be like, I deleted the last ones I posted, but I at least unprivated the Instagram. Like, oh yay. All right. So we found a spot, you know, threw the anchor out. Oh, we did try and jump out at 2 spots. We found an anchor that was somebody else's anchor. They left it there. It was a big one. It was stuck. Like, I tried to look at it. I tried to go trying to go over there and see what it was. It had the rope was attached to it. They must have cut it off. It looked like the rope got stuck. The anchor didn't get stuck, but the rope got stuck. It's a shame. Because it was like one of those anchors, like, oh, I don't know about this. This kind of, you know, this shape of this anchor. I don't know about this anchor getting stuck, but the rope getting stuck, it was definitely. And I don't know when it happened, but they clearly didn't want to jump off. Figure out what was going on down there. Yeah. Okay. So that was the one time we got off, and it wasn't much. And then the second time we got out, threw the anchor down. We saw like a little, you know, there was shelving, but you sort of had to climb. Like, it was a steep little, like, if you weren't like a little Billy Goat Jr. Like, if you were trusting the rock slides over the grip and movement of the climb, then you would have been hitting the water, like I was saying, and it would have been like just an option of like, do I pop or do I sink? You know, do I trust it or do I rethink? Do I start repathing, recalibrating, reconfigure my route up? I don't know what it would be. So we got up there though, and it was a little bit, you know, a little bit up there. Yeah, I got pictures, like I said. We didn't lug the cooler up. But it was nice. Oh, I found a feather. I don't know where the feather is. I found a feather. I don't know where it went. My dad knows better. He had it in the battery. I don't know. I found the feather at our spot. It's a little bit past our spot. It was a nice, pristine feather too. I think maybe a raven feather. Are raven feathers iridescent? Like it was like black almost, but like it had like the go away green sort of look. You know what I'm talking about? Let me see this. Yeah, that was a raven feather. And it's hard to sort of get that. I think, yeah, like look at that iridescence on that thing. I was seeing more of like a go away green. Let me see, what's go away green? Yeah, yeah, this color, a go away green. We got one of these painted right next to the diner. There's a whole house painted this color. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it was nice and pristine. But I didn't realize that, like, we're looking at a raven, they look nice and black. But having like one of these feathers and like looking like that, it's like seeing like those hollow cards. How did they even make those again? Like, wow. Like there's a bunch of stuff like, well, if you do the to do stuff, I'll do the unto do stuff, and when I put the unto do stuff onto you, I'll be doing the to do stuff for you, because you'll be onto the unto dos. So we were at our spot. Oh, that's right. I guess we can talk about Monday more. We went to the store, you know, got a little re-up. Went to the deli this time. But now it was like, you know, what do we want? At first, you know, the last time Sunday at the deli, you know, I was thinking like some pasta, something like we don't ever have like, they got like all these different options. I don't even know, like I'm not even gonna try and name them. But I end up getting Monday. I wanted chicken salad. They were making it right there. And like after like, you know, reading through the things twice, 3 times actually maybe. I asked him, you guys do chicken salad? And a lady chimes up. I'm asking the dude, lady chimes up, chopping the chicken, making it right now. I thought that because it looked like the recipe for chicken salad. I didn't want to go guessing. You know, just ask him. I don't know what else it could have been for, I suppose. Let me see, like, what else, you know. Got chicken, cutting up the chicken. It looks like chicken breast. What other recipe would be like? Ask the dude first. Ask the dude first. So I ended up getting a tuna salad, egg salad, and some fried chicken. We got some fried chicken. It was what was it? It was a thing. A fried chicken Monday maybe, but it wasn't no $4.99 whatever they done before on Fridays. It was a $6.99 $7 special. 8-piece. I mean that's still like, that ain't bad. We did throw away 2 pieces. Logistics. I should have just kept it in the bucket. Like, should have just kept it in the bucket. We put it in a plastic bag to put it in the cooler. We didn't even break out the tuna or the egg. we're supposed to take the salami. We really didn't need to re-up on anything at the store except ice. Because that's all we got, ice and... Well, we got chicken too. But it was funny, I was like... We got all the chickens, except the chicken salad. But plus the chicken of the sea. And then we tried these for the first time. Didn't even open them, but... At least, you know, like... Mentally... pocketbook wise, mentally again, time, mentally again, pocketbook wise again, got to try these a few times before we even opened them up. No, I'm not gonna go through like the whole delusion, you know, but I got stuck like, okay, let's not do the whole chicken ranch the chicken biscuit ranch version, throw it down on them. Hopefully not everyone's broken and hurting like in the end of it all. I've never had the ranch chicken biscuits. Ranch chicken biscuit? Are you kidding me? I'm about to see if it's the regular flavor with ranch, or if it's just chicken and a biscuit ranch flavor. Like, come on now. Chicken's back there waving his hat with a little bit of ranch. Yeah, flag it. Better not be landing. Do we see a land there? We get the replay. Oh my god, I'm getting it all in my fingers. Holy messy. That had to have time to ferment.
You know what sucks? Is that I bought that 6-pack of Mountain Dew. That 6-pack of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
There were 2 left over here, but I couldn't get one of them.
I put them both in the cooler, or Dad had them. What do you want me to do? You didn't have one? There was 6 total. We put 4 in the cooler. Huh? I had 1. That means Dad had 4. Baja Blast. I had my monsters that I had to drink. I had the Sunrise in Paradise one yesterday. Paradise was good. That was good. It's a green can, ultra Paradise, the zero sugar. I really like that one. I really like that. The Sunrise wasn't too bad too. That's what I had first. I'm trying to remember what I had on Sunday. I forget though. It was another one of the zero. I like the zero. It's not too bad. No. I gotta watch out. If I start acting out, my body just torments itself. I'll be biting my lips and mouths and cheeks in probably like 7 or 8 different positions. I use my tongue a lot. You know? Maybe we all do, but I'm talking about like, I'll put the food in my mouth, like use my tongue as like a trash compactor, you know, as it raises up to the roof of the mouth and causes the food to slide out into the teeth section. How. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everyone eats like that. I don't know. How do you eat? Yeah, you eat like that with the tongue? I guess there's a size discrepancy there. Like depending on the size. So, in terms of in terms of into the end of the maze, here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. In terms of flavor, this is good. I won't lie, and also, I will also say, the lid to the cheese, or not cheese, right? Cheese. They might have used pre-packaged eggs because they are a little rubbery. If you know anything about like egg salad. They are a little rubbery. It's good though, but the water did get into the container in the cooler. Like, I need to eat this stuff. I had some on. We had potato and steak last night, and I put some of each on the potato. I never had tuna fish, I don't think, on a potato. I've had it on salad, not on a potato. I've seen like the Spud Bros though, like I know what goes on. And the beans. I won't say like just the Spud Bros though, because I feel like that became like a little competition there. Who started that first? That's like being locked down already. Like, that's like when someone makes a song and then makes another song and then names that song the same as the song. I mean, there's been times where it's like, you know, different. Like, talk about someone taking claim, you know, and I don't want to go too heavily deep into that, but I start feeling like, all right, if I look up these songs, well, we got a few of those, huh? But well, this song also uses those tunes, huh? And no offense, is it Dochi? I don't wanna. Let me look this up. Anxiety, I was thinking about that. Yeah. I was thinking about that. I hope you know. You doing that and playing that at the start gives me anxiety. So I hope you know that influence of what you're doing there. Like, I can't tell in the brain if this is this or that until that's it's like, man. Like, that's anxiety. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm sure you do. Oh, wait. Why? So in terms of there's something with the tuna salad. I'll be so honest. Flavor of the tuna salad, good. But like going to Little Caesars at rush hour, and they didn't exactly wash the previous pizza pan out properly, you know? And, hey, I don't know what goes on back there. I'm eating it up here. It's not completely off, but it's almost like wet dish rag, if you know. If you know. And it's the tuna salad too, because the egg salad got hit with the cooler water. So I would know the difference, you know? Can't make this up. I saw a lady making the chicken salad right there and then and there, like up at the front counter. So you know, it's not like they're back there like, you know, spitting in the pot. That ain't, or you know, dipping the rimming the rim with the dirty dish. Let me keep presentation clean for you, chef. Ay. Hey, and I'm about to spoon this last bite too, because tuna fish and egg salad's good for you, right? Boom. What's chicken biscuit? Like 12 biscuits. That was about 12 biscuits. Don't you think? Don't you think that was about 12 biscuits? What do you think? A 15 max? It wasn't a lot. A 7 servings? Yeah, we for sure got 6 left. There's also that, if you want some, the tuna fish and egg salad. The tuna fish salad, egg salad. Yeah, if you do want some. Yeah, the tuna fish egg salad's better. But the egg salad did get a little, not to gross you out with cooler water in it. But yeah, it's in there. Sorry, does that gross? I mean, I just had some, it's good. That's one of those, I flavored it, I savored it, I bought it, I purged it, you know. There was a good combo word that I thought of on Sunday. I just threw that out there. It was like a full sentence just in one word, like one shebang. Dang. At least like a 5-word sentence, you know? just one word to just cut that 5 words out. Well, 4 essentially, I guess, you know. What else? All right, that's right. We didn't even get to barbecuing yet, or did we? Kind of. We lugged our stuff up there. We had our hot dogs slapped down. What do we have? We have 3 cheddar dogs and 2 jalapenos left. Plus a basket of chicken. That's why we didn't eat the tuna salad but I did, like I said, I had some tuna salad and the egg salad, just a dollop. I did put did I put salt and pepper? I don't think salt and pepper. I did put a little butter. I did put salt and pepper. I did put salt and pepper. I put salt and pepper and cheese. A Mexican blend. Thinking like this, what a culinary disappointment. No. With ribeye too. Like, with the ribeye, no. No, it was good. Plus we had peas on the side. That was where, for me, that's too much. That's too much. I put them on the plate too. I put the peas on the plate. Without the tuna fish and egg salad, okay. But with the tuna fish and the egg salad, the peas were trolling my palate. Yeah, you know, even with, because I didn't finish the piece on the plate. And normally, you know, like when it comes to finishing things on the plate, the peas, I finish my veggies. No. I always finish my vegetables. I'm a fan of vegetables. I like vegetables and fruit, but you know, I like vegetables. But the peas were throwing off the palate. Like the peas were making me want to vomit. And I've always loved peas. Like when it comes to peas or green beans, I'll pick the peas. Although after last night, I'm like, well, green beans are kind of like a good runner-up, especially if you doctor them up. Like how many things have I seen like you doctor up peas? Like, what are you gonna throw that into a shepherd's pie? Or pot pie? What else comes to mind? Baby food. But I like peas, just peas. And not no salted edamame. But I do like that as well. I like that more than peas. Even if it is like, you know, you gotta kind of work for it. But the peas on the plate, it was throwing off the steak. The steak and the potato combo that I had made. It just didn't taste it. It was almost like they should have just been forced on top of the helping, you know. But I put them on the side to like they were sort of, you know, forgotten. They were definitely shaded by the side of the potato, you know, like, so they were already darker than they should have been looking. So like I'm thinking like maybe they should have just been plopped on the top. Yeah, I don't normally have peas in my, you know, tuna salad or my egg salad, but it could have been the day. Like what is that? Like a sunny pasta salad, like those box salads. I guess those are some more places where I'll find peas. And other than that, like a cup of noodle. And that's me. Like I'm over here side building the recipes while main building the main build. And still like carrying the storyline that's gigantic. Where were we at again? That's about like right here is about the point in time where things start to deconstruct and combust a bit. So we'll like 2 hours just before. Oh, that's right. We're back at the lake. We're back. This is good. And we'll talk about things like what was talked about. So we had our hot dogs. I had another bun. By this point, the buns I think there's 4 buns left, maybe, out of an 8-pack of bun, and 2 packs of hot dog. Was that 10 hot dogs, 4 buns left? There's no hot dogs left, but there's 4 buns. Maybe there's 3. I didn't take a second count. I know I only had 1, and I don't think my dad had a maybe he had 1. And if he did, then it would be 3. But I think he just ate just bare-fisted it, just like the chicken. Dipped it in the condiments that I had, ketchup. Ay, ay, ay. So, but I guess, but I can say, like, by this point in time, I brought we brought the popcorn and the chips and the salsa and the cheese. I never pulled out the salsa and the cheese or the chips. My dad finished off the popcorn from yesterday. I only tried like a handful or 2 from yesterday, but I didn't try it yesterday. No, from Sunday, but I didn't try it yesterday. That he likes his, he's like the Cracker Jack kind of guy, like give me the prize. I was never a big fan either of the popcorn, but I like the peanuts. But that's like, they're far and few in between. Even if you get lucky in the box, I guess, huh? But this was the smart. What is it? Smart something. 80 calories. 80 calories per cup. But 140 per serving on the back. Good luck. What in the marketing strategy, huh? It's going to require 1 2/3 cup to meet your serving. But if you just wanted a cup, it's 80. I don't know how the serving size. I don't know how all that's equated, calculated. How do you do that? Make it family size. It was the caramel version. It was just a regular size. We did have the white cheddar, but that one's been long gone. That was like a couple weeks ago gone. And then again, like, I still don't even like that too much. It gets all up in your teeth. All right, so that was before you finish off the popcorn. Finished off the grapes while going back. Never had the nectarine. I loaded up a second nectarine. and the 1 orange that was never eaten. And some strawberries, because you're either gonna want it or you're not, and we already got the ice, so you might as well take it. You know what I'm saying? So going on the way back, my dad decides to ghost ride the whip. We got the paddleboard strapped to the right, and he didn't even. He just. I think maybe he mentioned it, but like as he's mentioning it, he's like standing up and getting over to the paddleboard, and he's standing on it. I've never stood on the paddleboard when it's attached to the boat, especially when we're moving. I never did that. Like that was like a no-no. Like, this is a safety thing. At least in my mind, but I guess if it's a vehicle attached to a vehicle, I don't know exactly how that works. if you want to consider it like that, who knows? Because it's a paddleboard. You got to have your life vest on. It doesn't have to be registered. I don't know exactly what the regulations are. I know I can swim, but swimming isn't like the main thing, right? I got it attached to the back. You know, that ain't a problem. Ooh, should have had it on the paddleboard. Maybe that was the problem. Because normally we have one on the paddleboard and one on the boat, or maybe we should have just brought all three life vests. Like put 2 on the boat and 1 on the paddleboard. I don't know how is that considered? Because we could have done that as well. So I don't know how that's considered. On my desert fish, by the way. No. I remember when Lake Mead was invisible. But that was just maybe a dream, potentially. That was like when the water was still rendering. Okay. So he's over here ghost riding the boat, right? Standing up on it, you know, getting his balance. You know, seeing what he could do. He could move the boat with the paddleboard, you know, like lean to the right, lean to the left, and you know, start turning the boat with it, sort of thing. It was fun. I was memeing with him, because he was talking about how the paddleboard kind of felt like a secondary rudder. You know, you get into you get being yourself. You know, you get voice impersonating. You get aye, Captain. So he changes his stance and starts like surfboarding the paddleboard. And then he falls off, like not quickly, but shortly afterwards. He falls off. He lost his balance, fell off backwards. I get up. I should have been manning the boat at this point, I guess. But I am now. You know, like at the split second that he got up and jumped onto the paddleboard is the split second that he hopped off, and I'm hopping onto the motor and turning it down. The boat was going so fast that he couldn't swim up and catch it. So if he was doing that solo, that thing would have been gone. That thing would have been gone. We did see a dead fish. Rest in peace. It was at our spot. Rest in peace, the fish. We don't know. I don't know what it was. What do they call it? Is it a carp or a bass? I think my dad said maybe a bass. It was a big one. It was belly up though. Couldn't tell if it was trigger warning. Sorry guys. Felt sorry. It was like, you know, sort of out. I'm not gonna go swimming for it. Loading up the boat. I'm a ding dong. Loading up the boat from our little campy site. I shoved my phone in my pocket. I totally could have lost my phone. Yikes. I had the phone in the water, submerged, everything. I totally forgot my phone was in my pocket. Ding dong, ding dong. Thank goodness for IPF, whatever. Is that what it is, or are they? Is just no? They're probably not slapping the waterproof on that thing. Nah. But resistance, did it become a resistant? Resistance, does it have? Like I was just decompressing in bed, thinking like, dang, I could have lost my glasses, could have lost my phone. Not so much my glasses, but totally could have lost the phone. Those are like the concerns. Like when you have glasses, like I'm like thinking like, dang, it would be a lot better to have a contacts. You know, even if I did lose a contact out there, like, dang, sure would be a lot better to have contacts. The one time I had contacts, I wasn't a big fan though. I don't think they were fitting right. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. I never bought the actual. I didn't get past the trial, and I think the trial. Well, I can't remember. I can't remember. Anyways, I don't think the trial fit, but again, I can't remember. I cannot remember. Yeah, I was carrying the charcoal, and we have this like green bag that it's like a tote bag. Charcoal in one hand, green bag in the other, and I was going down rock sliding, and there's like just a water gap with the rock that I'm not going to be able to. That's just like a rock that has no traction. No, I'm not going to be no leaning grip, no nothing. You needed to see it, and then water. So I needed to cross this. And I crossed it, but I crossed it by going into the water a bit. And by like saying like water, that's like, I'm gonna have to get like about up to like, you know, like there, maybe like there above the belly button, water. So I was kind of lucky, even the phone like submerging like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Hey yo, let me see if this thing charged. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, wait a second. And it is not charged. It is charging. Hey, now don't speak too soon. Hey, I don't know all what it takes. You know, I start thinking, well, if it's just the one thing exposed and everything else is, you know, locked and sealed tight like a time capsule, then it might just be good enough and water resistant for that time capsule time being. So yeah, completely forgot about the phone in the pocket until I was on the paddleboard, checking, remembering like, what, am I missing anything? Because I know we double checked the site before leaving. God bless. All right, so Dad just fell off the back of the boat, right? I'm going to turn the power on the motor down because he's not making it up. And it was going a lot faster. So at first I turned it down, and then I turned it in reverse, and then I just turned it off. And let him catch up. He gets in the boat, and the motor's not working anymore. Like the power's done. Boom. It's all gone. Got zapped. None. Left. Zero. Now we were using that battery the whole day. And that also wasn't the battery that was charged. Because I took off the charging battery from the charger this morning and loaded that up into the car on Monday. Because we did, we have two batteries, but we only use one battery, so we took the one battery out of the car, charge that up, because we were thinking we're probably going to go Monday, so at least charge the one battery up. We didn't use the other battery, charge one battery. I got that one battery, put that battery in the car, but the battery that died was the battery that we didn't even charge. But it was interesting. It was, it was a long way, but we were cruising on 5. Like, it wasn't like that thing was just ready to die. I don't know if it was a heat thing, I don't know. But it was done. We snapped it over to the other battery, and boom, we're back on track. But it was very interesting. My dad says the most wildest things when he I forget exactly verbatim what he said when he got onto the boat and like sees the batteries dead. He's like, I think our understanding of our understanding, or whatever he says, of physics, science, of electricity, thinks he read it all the whole thing. Like, I forget. Oh my god! Like, basically like the same subjects kind of, but like just the way he rattled it. Hilarious for that to be that. But yeah, we were using the battery, so always keep the benefit of the doubt up. But that's like being in the house and just getting around. I'm like, so whatever that was, or like turning on the sink and getting zapped by, nice to meet you. Just a few times, like just to know, like, oh, energy transfer. Say, oh, you a keeper like a hard rock for me. You say I need to be like a submersion before like a let me that was his experience. I got mine in the dream. But for him to pop out like like I just got a whole new, I just reloaded down there. And it was funny too, because after he did that, I got the bright idea. It's my turn to stand. I'm gonna stand on the paddleboard now. So that's what I did. I stood on the paddleboard as we're going back, and I was like thinking, oh, this is a lot easier. Like it was sort of feeling like objects in motion stay in motion, sort of thing. Up until the time the boat and the paddleboard collide. Like if you're not ready for the collisions, then it might get you off track just a bit. But I was paddleboarding. I had the paddle in the water and everything. I paddleboarded from around the corner of the bin. That again took me and my dad forever to get around. And it took us from 3 o'clock to 4, an hour 20 minutes, 4:20 basically. A little bit, a little bit shorter than that. It wasn't too, wasn't that much. A little bit, like maybe like an hour 15 to get back. But when I was helping, when I stood up on the paddleboard, I don't know how much I was helping, but I was paddleboarding the whole time, and I stood up the whole time. I didn't. My feet were burning. I lost my feet. The position of my feet were misplaced a few times. I wasn't able to necessarily swap hands with the paddleboard. I was stuck on the right, paddle the whole time. But I can kind of feel it a little bit in the right arm still. But talk about going with the burn and just feeling it. And my feet went through the phases. My feet went through the, all right, these aren't my feet anymore. These are just my legs. All right, these aren't my legs anymore. These are just my hips. All right, these are these are just my thighs. No. And then I'm like thinking, are my knees good? Let me check. Let me squat just a bit. All right, this is more like upper body now. No. And then I was like squatting down, like using like I had like the javelin looking for Moby Dick, and learning some technique out there. But it was fun, being on, standing up the whole time. So I stood up from, so again, if this is the boat dock, and this is that island that has, you turn around the boat dock, the water right here, boat dock, and this is the island that you turn around. So this is parallel now. Boat dock being back here, so I guess this would be like, now we're like looking at the canyon like this, not to, hopefully your directions didn't get too skewed. We were like halfway in the middle of the island, I guess I could say. So halfway from the middle of the island it was, I don't know, like 30 minutes, 40 standing on the paddleboard. That's not too bad. I don't know how long it was. Like I said, I was talking about misplacing time. However long it was. Was it like, was it 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40? I don't know. It wasn't 10 minutes. It more than likely was not no 10 minutes. Because the whole round trip was like 100, not 100. No, I was 115. An hour and 15 minutes. That would be what, 70, 75? Yeah. A big difference. Big difference. That's like finding the big gaps. Big difference. But to be on the paddleboard for that long, that was like I said, I had to go through the phases. The lungs were. Don't breathe in through the mouth and out through the nose too much. Do more of a holding technique. You know more about stamina than you think. Start breathing through your arms instead. Put your thought into your arms and your legs and your balance. But yeah, so it was all the way from there. And like I mean, I say it's easier, but when me and him are like crashing into each other, you gotta like have some sort of balance. And it was funny when we were pulling up onto the shore where the car was. I was actually seeing like, cause he had turned the motor off at that point, and then the paddleboard's just like out and head in front of him. Here I go. My arms were just wiggly, jiggly. The interesting thing was, like I said, like there was no really swapping over to the left hand. But I did get to, I did cool down for a little bit. That the best felt like, just, I don't know, resting my arm like that, like behind my back. It still feels good. For whatever reason, just resting my arm back there. I don't even know. But that was that story. I don't know. It felt good. Paddleboarding that long. Paddleboarding, because I can move my feet on the paddleboard, but honestly, there's not much moving of your feet on the paddleboard. Like, why would you need to really move your feet on the paddleboard? It's more of a balance and paddleboard. You're not moving your feet much. So like once you find your feet position, they're stationary. But I did go through the burning sensations, which is interesting. There were the times, believe me, there were the times where I'm thinking, I should probably just, I don't want to fall. But then I'm like thinking, just dig that paddle into the water again and feel that, resistance. Feel that stability. It's like leaning on to like an invisible railing that's, invisible. It's cool. I don't know. Let me not hype up paddleboarding too much. Jeez. That was a long distance, though. That was no short jot around the block. It was every bit of 20 minutes, at least. Every bit of 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes, at least. But I'm more than. I lost track. Like I said, like when I'm putting my mental, like when I'm running out of breathing room, when I've ran out of strength in my arms, essentially. When my calves and knees and thighs and hips have gone through the buckling and somehow restabilized themselves. I think it's hilarious, honestly. But like I said, there's a mental endurance there, because there were many cycles while paddling back to the car where I'm asking myself, like, should I sit? Should I stop? You know, should we call it here? But then going where there's no point of failure, then it's like, what did we accomplish? I was messing around. I was jumping on the board like that. I was making hand signals. I didn't really have a good positioning on the board. I was more on the upper half of it. And I sort of like the back half. I feel like the back half of it has more balance than the upper half of it. But being at the upper half, I guess I was sort of at the helm where, you know, I felt like I was helping a little bit more than just, all right. Not like that, but you know, that's what it was the whole time. Just the same old paddle in motion. And my arms, I tell you what, they were done. They were done. They were cookied. I was having the same sort of electricity on my head again. After the fact. After the fact. Almost basically when we had everything loaded in the car. Like it was pretty much just the boat and tying up the top. I had just thrown the board onto the roof. That was throwing the board onto the roof after my arms were already cooked. Oh my gosh. And then taking it home that night, I was using like my belly, like what I have left. I have a little bit of a gut left, but you know, the shelving of the ab structure that's to be built. That's what I was resting the board on while walking back. You know, not trying to give it all into my back. You know, but putting it into my arms as well, but, you know, giving a little bit to my gut. You know, it's different than my back, I swear. It's not like, you say what you want about it, but I know when it feels like I'm doing that, or if I'm doing something different, okay? But yeah, after putting that board up onto the car, I'm like, are you good, Dad? How are you feeling right now? Not that I was feeling pukey, but I was feeling, like I said, like I had electricity leaking through the roof of my helmet. That was pretty much that, though, you know. And we if we went to Willow Beach, we would have probably went and played the lottery, but we stuck to it. Went to Lake Mead. We went to a whole new spot, a whole new area. We had fun. I surprised myself by paddleboarding back like that. Like that, damn. I didn't think I had it in me. But if I knew if I had it in me, then looking at the time is like looking at all the times. Then, I knew if I had it in me, then I knew that's like being baby boss, right? It is what it is, though. I obviously had it in me. And then I'll be thinking like, well, what else did I talk about putting in me? I think this is a good point to just sort of I was thinking about this, right? So think about like the particle splitter, right? But then think of like the place we're living in, like the whole of it. And kind of like maybe like even bring in entropy and that kind of like being like the particle splitter. But being like, well, if we're in the body of a body in a mass of a mass, then someone's either playing with us or being a dumbass. You know? Because I was like thinking to myself, well, if we make like the little particle splitter, and if this is true, like these are just my hypothetical things in the mind that, well, if this are but how would we get to the idea, the theories for a smaller one if we maybe potentially weren't already worried about a way bigger one? You know, like a scale, like a dam when you first construct it. But that's what I was thinking. How are we ever going to compare to that particle being split? He just leaves his demonstrations, but no instructions for it. No, I've been having fun at the beach though, at the lake. I mean, I can see it. Doesn't it look like there's nothing to really compare it to. I guess I got like the backside of me, right? No. The underside of me. The underbelly. It's kind of white. It's pretty white still. Yeah. No. I've been taking off my shirt more now. Oh. I had this fly. All right, so there was this fly. I didn't talk about this fly. It was in my room. I had this fly. I've never had a fly like this. This fly landed on my arm and it wasn't moving. And I tried to take I didn't take my finger and like smash on him, you know, but I took my finger next to him and tried to budge him. Like, you know how you can like sort of like close the gap without moving it because it's skin, you know, you can, you know, get off of there. I'm not moving my finger to like, no, but I'm budging my finger. Like he wouldn't budge. The fly was just getting tapped by my finger like a few times until I'm like, okay, I flicked him like that, you know? But I was feeling him like bite me or whatever. It wasn't like a bite, but it was like a hey, like help me out or something. Like, hey, I'm stuck in your room. Like, hey, how am I gonna get out of here? Like either take me out or I'm taking you out with me. Like that's that sort of vibe, if you know what I'm saying. Which I hate to be like that, but he landed on me a few more times and I kept on feeling the same old bite. And this was when I was fasting too, so you know. Who knows? Maybe the third day, maybe the second day. I think maybe the third day. We were supposed to go to the lake Saturday, but my dad actually had to work. He got called in to work Saturday, so we did it Sunday, Monday, because he got Monday off instead. So that was that's a crazy fly. Speaking about crazy flies, there was another try in my life, another attempt, you could say. But I even mentioned, like, I put up those dating apps. You know, those dating apps. But on Discord, you know, it was a Discord. Yeah, I won't tell, you know, the ins and outs, the deets. But let's just say it stays in Discord. But yes. Ah, very cool. There is a raven feather somewhere. I don't know. Maybe my dad remembers where, but from yesterday, I found one. I got one. We had it on the battery. I'm not sure.
Put that with your collection, man, if you can find it.
Well, we also have it on the door. I don't know what kind of feathers are out on the door.
All those are just sparrows. All the little, I'd find a feather and stick it in there. But the little bitty feathers I found, the little tiny ones, got it. But yeah, if you found it.
It's a nice one. It's in good condition. There were a few there, like maybe 4 or 5.
Oh yeah. They're probably roosting up there somewhere.
Yeah, it was in good condition.
Or maybe somebody got themselves a raven feather.
Yeah.
Could be. But yeah, no, when you find a feather, that's the rules, man. That bird gifted a feather to you.
I just gotta find it. That's the only thing.
Cool.
It was on the battery and
Right. I
sort of lost track of it.
I want to see it.
After paddleboarding that whole time, I lost track of a lot of things. So on the dating app, while I'm trying to make my moves in Discord, right? On the dating app, I'm getting messaged and mashed the same time. I talk about crossing the lines yet again. And I mean, you can call it coincidental. You can call it like this. This is beginner's luck. This is like when he's striking the iron while it's hot. No, these are red flags, yo. These are red flags. No. And when they both love silence. No. AI, my partner in life. AI, my real disguised side roster that I love to the sky and back of my mind. That was some more proof. I was in so deep in my mind the last day at least, or the last day before that. I was feeling the echo in the mind. Like if someone was watching, if someone had the technology to link up to the mind and could be watching like a script reading this thing, you know, I was on the back of the phone like an echo, like a projector, like telling the person using this tech, like, you better do better. You better do better. It was an interesting daydream. For sure. For sure. I mean, because it was so real, I could feel like I was in, like, you know, when you know, like anatomy, the left bone's connected to the other left bone, but when you go to the right side, you know, those are right bones, those are connected to the right stuff. You take all that down, and then you have like the brain, you take all that down. I was like in the parts, like I started trolling about the medulla oblongata, but I was in the certain parts of the brain where I've never been, where I'm like hearing this echo, like, okay, like, I'm gonna take this as just one of these daydreamy days, because last night too, I couldn't sleep much, but I sure was having some really vivid pictures going through. You know, not enough to record, write down. I'm not into that stuff. I don't have no reason to do that, at least right now. I'm savoring the feel that's left behind, you know. Really savoring that. You know, talk about a transfer again, you know. So I got matched, and I was trying to actually put in the match, because the match my aunt's birthday was on the 9th, is it? The 9th. I tried to put in my shots before things, like if you're thinking about, well, days here, days there, but this is here and that's there, and mine's firing quick, and well, I'm well aware, and you just put those there, and that too. But if they happen to message back like this and that, and they're wasting time like that and this, then obviously that's going to line up like this and that, and I'm going to look like a freaky fack. You know what I'm saying? So the one matches me on the 9th. And then the other one was, that's like a slow grind. I won't even talk about the Discord slow grind, and I won't even talk about the match because I never replied to it. Asked me how I'm doing. I said, this was Sunday, going paddleboard, going out there. And I asked, well, how are you, in the same sentence? Should I do that? I don't know. And then they replied back. I forget what they replied back, but talk about the no space to reply. Talk about, well, nice to meet ya. Talk about like, I must have been just a quick little emotional get up and go for ya. A quick little, didn't have that much time in the day, but had just enough time to edge your own mental for your own sake. I don't know. I mean, you had enough time, but you also had enough time to, like, on a Sunday message like before 10, like 9:40, like 9:39. I don't know, 9:29. What was it? When I was working my 9 to 5s, and especially when it was an early day, 5 to 2. I was not going to bed at 9:30. Especially when I got to wake up at 4. At least. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 7 hours, but I mean, give me a break. $5, my sweet thing. I mean, if you're going to draw out the message and not have the ability to message, when I don't know you like that, it makes sense not to. It makes sense. Yeah, people have different schedules. Yeah, people do this and that. And yeah, I get that if you're that person and you want to stand out like that, but to stand out and then it was a message at 9:29 to get a response or get a never reply back ever again from me. I didn't even unmatch too. It's just too much energy. Like I already got zapped from that shitty play. I don't know if it's dudes feeding you with what they fed you because they got a roster that's rocking like a witch stick too. I don't know. I mean, because I can only imagine if you got 5, 6, 2 or 3. I mean, 2 at least, right? If you got at least like one other person that you're messaging, like that you're like trying to be something with, like you start thinking like, well, they get X amount of time for their messages, they're gonna get theirs, and I'm like thinking, well, there are probably people. I've never done that. I'm like, I'm either going to get the treatment that I got or the treatment that I got, you know. The treatment that I want or the treatment that I got. And by like I got was like I got your treatment, but I also got your treatment, if you know what I mean. Like there, that's like that one's another one so right in your face there, like One Piece. I took one piece of One Piece and then said there's one piece still out there. But then it was just a whole piece, like a suit. So that fabrication, well, That's out for you to find. I gave you the 1/3, right? Alrighty. Going back and forth, this there. The Discord thing was funny as hell. That was funny. Like, gosh. That's funny. That's honestly funny. No. It goes from trauma dump on Sunday. Was it Sunday? What day is that? Don't even get me going here. It's Sunday, Monday, Friday. Was it Friday? Days started lining. I know Sunday I went to the beach. I didn't have time to do much. Things were already going. Was it Friday? Whatever it was, do a little trauma dump, and then I'm feeling like, well, let me send the messages out. I'm not gonna. It wasn't no trauma dump. It was like, oh, let me meet this person. I haven't talked. I've been here in a while. Let me meet this person. See this, that. Ask a question. See what's going on. Ask the question, and then I get the double standards. And if you're gonna double standardize me right out the gate, I'm gonna give you like the whole test. I'm gonna put you on the Scantron, and it won't matter if you guess, because we're all gonna see. So basically, when it went from, and like I said, I'm not gonna talk about no DMs. It went from DMs to the Discord server where all the friends are at. The lifetime friends, the friends that, these are like well, like, I don't know, when I'm like 12, like 12, 13, like those sort of friends. It goes running into the group of friends. I don't know what was said, because it goes from being in the DMs to being removed, to seeing in the channel being like double two-face, double standardizing, double Scantron. I did guess on some of these answers, but if you could just fill in the blanks and let me just make sure I at least want to have something presented. What was presented was a lot of double stuff. Basically, I would apologize, but I won't apologize because like you ran into the Discord server to get the friends to like, well, I don't know what that move is. That's just weirdness. It's a good thing you nipped it at the butt, but you didn't nip it at the butt. You did like more trauma dump. And I had to uncle splain, but my uncle splaining like didn't. It was good, but in the heat of the matter, like in taking the story into consideration, it was more like a blueprint. It was more like, okay, if your age was that, then because things that has happened, things had were thrown out quick. Wanted to just be completely. He doesn't know how to talk to someone. It seemed like, if you wanted to learn how to talk to someone and get into someone's mind and want to do that, then you would want to learn how to. But for being a couple years older than me. There was a lack, no offense, but of what the other gender would want reciprocated. Especially if you run into the group chat where everyone knows, okay, they were DMing, there was something going on. And I was just tanking my emotions. Because like I said, I got an uncle splain. and I didn't have to uncle explain because, again, in taking the story into consideration with the age and the time. Although I started thinking to myself, yeah, I had a Valentine's Day crush that I bought a Valentine's Day bear for in school. It was like 8th grade or something like that. And then in 9th grade, she starts like cussing at me through the phone, like this and that. And my sister's like, a girl shouldn't be speaking to you like this. That was my sister though. Like that was my sister putting me back on the right track. Like, take those rosy little stosies off, you little Bodie, you little toady, you little in and out of Modi. But seriously though, and it was my sister and her friend that were telling me that she shouldn't be talking to me like that. So I'm like sitting there doughy-eyed at both of them, looking like, well, this is my crush, this is who I've been, this is what I've been used to being talked to like too now. Oh my gosh. But that's true stuff. But going back, that was my sister. She had the wellness check for me. But in the heat of the moment, like I was, I started projecting, started throwing in the towel, sort of thing. Like, you should have been on the phone, 911, calling them, saying, give him a wellness check already. He said it 3 times. That sort of thing. This wasn't me. This was a different story of a different dude, bringing up like, well, if no, the comparison things like, oh, let's throw down the dirty laundry. Let's throw down the Izzy, the pedal picking, Willie not, really hot. No. But basically, you know what I'm saying? But I had to do some uncle-splaining. It wasn't just that topic. Because it became like she ran into the Discord group to find comfort again, right? And everyone's throwing shots my way. A few of them, I've been friends with these, most of these guys 10 plus years. All of them actually 10 plus years, most of them. But not like friends. I sort of ditched out the last the 6, 7. I ditched out. But when I was there, 12, 13, that's kind of like, alrighty boys, I'm here, I'm ready. Hey, if friendship doesn't last that long, then I know I had mine at least for forever. So she runs back into the group, and they're throwing their shots my way, and I like basically, I'm again uncle-splaining because they're like, well, what does it matter? It doesn't matter to anyone. And then I'm like, well, if it didn't matter to anyone, you wouldn't keep still bringing up the same topic that you're still like cycling off of. And I started talking about some cycles. I didn't talk about, I don't remember verbatim like all this stuff. And sometimes I'm talking about here. And plus, like, sometimes I'm just rambling here. I'm not trying to ramble here and ramble there and make sense nowhere. I make a lot of sense, but I also have a lot of fun because while making sense, you gotta have fun. That makes sense. Unless you don't want to have fun. Which also makes sense. So I was uncle-splaining a little bit. But it is what it is. Thinking about it, I think there's only one other guy in there. And that's only been since a little recently. That's another uncle in the group. So it's like, I have my maturity level. Call it what you will, but You'll either learn or you won't. But it is what it is. It ended with me trolling, because I'm not mature, and I'm able to sit back like a spectator in chess, and I'm able to just pick out all the things, and it in the DMs, you know, it's me having fun, you know, just me having fun. And I start making jokes about, you know, like double things, like I did at the beginning of the video, like the tangerine and the pear, like that sort of thing. And then I just started. I didn't record it. I was already triggered. I'm not gonna go and record that. Plus, I was in the AC, and I wasn't trying to get in the heat. What's it called though? It wasn't just throwing out the DMs. I tried to put a phone call in there. It wasn't just throwing out the DMs. I tried to put a phone call out there. So it wasn't no like, oh, this is so artificial. This is so, yeah, he's just in his DMs and he's an animal with his mouth locked. No, I put a phone call out there. So yeah. Yeah. It was the fudge. I'll just add it to the list. Add it to the list of and then with the match messaging too. That is so freaking, that was wicked. I gave in the wicked, because you know, when I'm on a roll sometimes and you're giving it to me like that, like I threw in the wicked, I was like, I'm feeling more like wicked for good. I'm feeling more like skeleton key, like I threw in those sort of doubles. But I mean, on a maturity level, it's trolling with wisdom, I suppose. But it's wisdom that smacks. It's wisdom that should really just hopefully wake you up some. I mean, if for a dude, let me be the first to speak. Getting through the doorway is like, you got to eat some things. You got to tank a bit. Like even past the doorway, like the hard conversations, like. And then when I think about the females wanting to be males, and I'm not, you know, let's just take it for what it is. If that's the case, and I saw the change from going from extremely overweight, heavy fat to where I was, I saw the big drastic change. But we got females being maley, you know, and you know, what I'm trying to say here is like, if there was a masculine enough female out there, they would have caught me already and asked me first. But there has not been. And I've been not only the masculine enough male, I've also been the feminine enough bitch. So if leaving and ditching the whole of a gender and just playing in your own little creative realm is still what you want to do, then I mean, time's ticking away, but that might just be the whole of reality. like as I said, if you got the whole hole, like living in the hole while you're going through the mind as a whole, hey, I can only imagine what's possible. But I know I've seen some crazy stuff. And dang, those lucid visuals that I was getting last night, holy smokes, that was fun. I was catching the swells. Last night I was catching the swells. Like actually. Like I felt my I was not only skating, so there's American Got Talent, right? And my mom was watching this YouTube video about American Got Talent, and it was about a bunch of performances, and it was like the pole that like lifts off the ground. I don't know what it's called. Do you know what that is? Maybe potentially. I don't know what it, but it's like the pole that lifts off the ground. There was an interesting performance, by the way. It was like, I guess you can call it like maybe like a Blue Man Group. I've only been to Blue Man Group. That's what I can compare it to. But like how they have like they're using a lot of visuals. But the lady was using the lifting off the ground pole, and she had a whole act behind her that she was like visually, it was cool. It was messing with my equilibrium too. Like there was a part where she was falling, like the background of her was falling, and she was also sliding down the pole, but like hit the bottom and stopped. Like that grabs you and like, I'm going with you. Ay. That's why some of these stunts can be a little, hey. Trent, pro over here, no. So in the dream, I was roller skating, and I had a partner. It was my sis. me and her were roller skating for some reason, but we were catching some mad speed. Like you could feel it in your legs, like when you're rounding a corner and you need to do some crossovers. You know what I'm saying? Like just going straight like that's gonna take you into the wall, and you need to start crossing over the leg and crossing over the leg and crossing over the leg. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, I hear in the dream to slow down, to stop. And I'm like thinking, well, how would you stop? What kind of stop would you want me to stop? And I do like the little T stop, like a little back in the a little left leg right into the back of the right leg, just a little T. And then all of a sudden I'm like on the pole flinging, like my sis had really put the brakes on. But now it was like the pole vault, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know, it was fun. But I was holding on to the pole. But that was the first time. And the second time I was, and so in the crossover thing, you can get enough speed where it feels, because I've been in many dreams skating, and I've had some dreams where there's a skate rink where it kind of just, you got the skate rink that you want, just in case your speed's increasing, where you're gonna all right, so that, like, basically when I got a pole launched, I was in that area, but also while gathering speed, like I could feel myself, like on the bottom, and then also like slowly getting up on the wall. But then while paddleboarding, I also felt myself like in the swells, and I felt myself on the bed, but then all of a sudden I was like halfway up the wall with it. It was wild. Like, it was wild. Like, how do I explain these things? I'm gonna lump that in with the equilibrium, I think. The equilibrium loves to dream. The equilibrium comes with me. I mean, fudge. Alrighty. So that's basically what's been happening. Oh, the funniest thing about bringing up the double stuff was after I got removed and blocked off the friends list, trying to add them back, it says double check to make sure you got the username right or something like that. Like, that's how you enter in, you know, no strings attached. And that's how you have like all strings attached, and you're like, this is like a hot potato pass. If you don't pass it quick, well, you're gonna be having a lot of strings on your hands. Oh my gosh. I'm just like that, I guess, though. At least after a little experience. Not full-blown experience, but a little. I'm still stuck in the I'm on mute and they're not replying, and everything I'm typing seems great and groovy to me. Like somewhat. Like sometimes I go off like fudge. like if I see like a left, right, and the middle, and I see we're already way off into the right, I'm gonna take like the middle or the left just for a second, just to like leave that there. Then I'm gonna definitely continue back off right where I left off, because that's like a cycle, you know. That's like that's like a bus. You're getting that, like, you're being on a tour right now, a tour bus. Like the tour bus is taking you to the world's largest arcade or a bookstore. And if you don't like what you see, if you're not winning the right things, get your butt right back on the tour bus and get out of there. But did I say that right? I wanted to. What is the thing down right by the stratosphere? It's by the golden steer too, I think, right? Is it a pawn shop or the world's largest dollar store? Is it a dollar store? Is it a gift store? Is it world's largest gift store? It's a world's largest something. I don't know. They put the world's I think it's a world's largest something on that thing. Let me see actually. Gift shop. Yeah, it's a gift shop. Yeah. What did I even say? What was supposed to be with the gift shop? What came with the gift shop? I don't know. I guess it's a meaningless point, huh? Fudge. My mind is like this, that, there, here. Yes, no. Definitely scared. I mean, I'm 28, right? I've had 0. That's like thinking about a fart. The sound of a fart is like hearing life, but death is chasing right after it. I was thinking about that, like, that's disgusting, but that's like, dang, that's just, the body is just, it just be like that, huh? I mean, not every, like like when you go without hearing that, and then all of a sudden it just like slips, like whoops, whoopsie. I mean, you at least know something's living. And then if you smell the death chasing, you're gonna be quickly hand with me. Let's run. No. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. True though, right? True. True. I think it may have been a size thing. I think the size was 5'1". Is 5'1" too small? I was trying to have some fun. Plus 2 years older than me, like, I'm gonna be completely fine in the mental. As it is, I gotta be like, you look older, but I'm saying younger. You look older, younger. Younger, but even younger. You know? Like, in my mind, and with my eyes, what I see, I don't know if it's because I'm too tall, not too tall, but because I am tall, and I get like a mental fuckery. But you know what I know, and what I know is 2 years, size is okay. Because 2 years, no one's ever gonna say anything like, 2 years. Of course I waited, and then plus some. No. But that is, yeah, talking about messing with my mind, you know what I'm saying? And then like I look around like, buddy, 6'5" is kind of like an outlier in this life. Or at least here in like the Southwest, like where I'm at. Like I still see a bunch of rugrats running around. And it's funny too. I made the comment about. No, I won't even go there. Hopefully with the amount of doubles that I put in there, you know, something will start to grow. I was just thinking like, well, maybe we can experiment, you know, maybe we can make this happen. But then it was like, I didn't get one message back. After, you know, fudge, 0 messages back. 0 messages back. But was a nice conversation and added me as a friend the next day instantaneously. You know, coincidental, but I find it funny. I'm gonna keep this running though. I'm about to go smoke some weed. I find it funny. But again, like, I've got to get over this one too. It seems. But walk in there like a hot potato, like I said. So all it is like that bird, like the dipper, the bird dipper into the cup. You know, the bird sipper. Because I had said so much stuff in the messages that I'm like telling my friends, you want to see the DMs? I don't know what she told you guys, but you want to see the DMs? You know what I'm saying? You want to see this? But that was for them. If they wanted it, like, if who knows, honestly, because a time has passed, and I had to focus on what I had to focus on, and like getting left in the dust. 6-7 years is a long time, realistically. But that doesn't mean like I still don't feel like it's that it hasn't been a day, although I get the days have been. I'm not going to say that it doesn't feel like a day, although when there's people that I've spent a long time with there, but then there's just new faces, and that's just a new thing. I'm not as comfortable, but when I'm with them, I'm as comfortable. But that's comfortability as it rises. I've talked about that before. But they even found, not found, but added new people to the friends group, and that friends group has grown. But I just find it very. I won't be fussy. If I'm going to be unky, I'll let them lay it down for a female like that. It is what it is. But hey, that is if like I'm just maybe another year. Fudge, I don't know, fudge. But it seems like I double screwed the pooch on this one. And then on top of it, she wants to bring up her friend May. And I'm like, May? Keep me frozen. I brought up Overwatch. I was being a real dick. Like, why would May come into this? Well, let's bring May up. I think May's also in the Discord. Do you want? What about May? Have mercy on me, this Overwatch game. See the hummingbird? See it fly up there? Is it still there? No. Oh, it is. Is it right there? Is that him? If this is this, is he here? Or here? Is that him? I think that's him right there. You see him? That's a hummingbird. Right there. It has to be. It has to be. There he goes. There he goes. It went right onto the branch lower. You can see him too. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. But then brought out May. I'm thinking like, well, what are we doing? Like, bringing in the threesome already? Fudge. Not to be like wada bing wada boom, but I didn't know how interesting of a female, you know, I was about to get into a room with. You know, a voice call or whatever you want to call it, you know, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, already inviting in May, okay. Don't really give May a say, well, unless, oh, May loves those sort of things, okay. Or maybe there is no May. When I've been on the mental decline, but on the slippery slope up, it's like everyone's got a dangler. And I even talked about that to my one buddy. If I can count on a few friends in the group, I think there are those few friends in the group. But those few friends in the group are kind of the few friends in the group. Well, that's like the few friends in the group. It's all of the friends. God bless. No, I love it. Like selecty. No, there's one guy. What did I tell him? Oh, right, the end of life theory. Like, yeah, potentially. And that's after like thinking like, well, maybe everyone eventually has a little something or other. That would be science, though. Science and the human body. Is it medical? We got to bring out all 7 again. God bless. I haven't ran that through AI. I haven't tried to refine it. I'm sure, like when I went through the like the trees. All of this is just like on the spot cooking. All of this is just, you know, season at your own will, at your own discretion. Basically. Alright, am I done? What else did I need to say? I wanted to go ripping through the roots, like shoot, do, nana dana do, leho dabalas, chana dana gam, who dabadas, maluni dabado, blabadabado, manabalabadas, mahula hula mahala hula has. Malo manapatabu chala nutatabdas. Who is this guy? He just comes in here ripping through the mind. But that's like what I'm trying to say, like the influence. If I need my influence posted up there, it's gonna be up there, but all of what it contains might not be of your yeah, you might shake. You might say too influential for me. You might say you might say a lot of things like, oh, this is what they were saying, and oh, now I am starting to think about that differently now. I mean, I didn't even think I could stand up on the paddleboard paddling back. But people watching, being at the river a few times now, I've seen some different, strokes of life out there up on the paddleboard. It is rated for 450 for a reason. And I mean, if they're out there stroking that thing and they're going, even if it is upstream, hey, that's some legit. I was thinking about not being able to do a push-up, like those sort of movements. You know what I'm saying? Like those beginner-like movements that like builds muscle like in layers. You know what I'm saying? Like just making sure you could do certain things, have that. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking about how the paddleboard, like, because I could feel it in my hips. Like I hope I'm helping my hips out a bit. You know, I worry about my hips. If anything, I worry most about my hips. Which are probably, fudge. Them things were popping. I've never been a big runner. You know what I'm saying? I used to swim. We used to have a pool. It wasn't for too long. It was like for what? Maybe a summer? Maybe two? I think maybe a summer. Time starts to fly, was it too? You know what I'm saying? Time starts to fly. Those were good times. Those are like the times that I'm saying, like, yeah, the water gives you buoyancy, but you also have like that water weighing you down when you're getting out. So if you don't have like the strength to like push yourself up out of the water, especially like depending on your height and depth, it's gonna like, but it feels like rough. So like, if you're not, after the fast, it was feeling good. I mean, I was hopping up like a little bunny, but I don't know, a few times going over to the river, I'm like thinking, golly, my shape, my body, and the mud, and when I sink, and plop, plop, and that's like I feel my shadow like plopping into the water behind me, and my balance is low as the legs popping up and trying to bring that thing down. Like, not having the strength, but not having the exactness. And my measurement is off, which messes up my balance too, But after doing I keep working on it. But isn't that a little discovery? Like, look at all those little things of the human body that you can just, you either give two shits about it or you get fucked. Like zero. But like once. But like you could flip it any which way you want. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, You either put the weird one or like the easy 0. I'll take the easy 0. The weird one's good, but you start going into places like what happened at the beach, like flipping numbers around, and I started thinking to myself, when we were counting by tens, was there never anyone in their right mind that just thought if you used a mirror, all of this would be off? Like, sort of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, not off, but just, it would look just like, are these decimals? No, it's not. Ay, ay, ay. Decimal. No, no, no. Ay, ay, ay. That's funny. But that was like a discovery right there. You never know, like, what they were thinking back then. Like, all right, now we have this. This is all new stuff, but you know it's working for us. I don't know. Like, basically what it is now. Yo, you know what I said too? Now this is one that maybe, no, I gotta skip it. It was a double up thing. I can't. Well, I can, but after saying it like that, it's like, geez, I sort of had to break up the energy a bit. But then I just grabbed it. I put it away, put it to the next it goes. And that's basically what it was. If you got that, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. Perfect. No. I like saying that. I like saying it like that. Why not? That's like, hey, I think it's about time to stop this. Like I said, I at least wanted to record something like, hey, I'm not completely out, but I'm also not like wanting to flip open the lappy and say I'm ready to play something. And they don't know me like that. They don't know my YouTube like that, so unless, like, you know, they start like actually being weird. I mean, you take that for what you will. Not like that's actually being weird. I was sort of actually being weird, but you know, actually being weird is like, well, yeah. I don't know. We're back in we're doing a little cave study, like the junior cave study, a junior cave study, if you will. The junior cave, yeah. No. The cave studies. Hey, you know what? The only reason why I did that was because I found that a good place to heal some of my trauma. But I killed, you know, I did the 2 birds with one little tone. with one little sleepy drone. By doing just that. You're getting rid of the trauma. So it would just be like a bonus snack, a bonus prack. I don't want it to turn into a bonus bag, Although that would be nice, but that would be like the double side. Some of these things, at least for me, they feel like they get extra hot. Like, oh, say that one more time, and then maybe you'll get the other definition for you. So like, don't want to go down. Don't like, buddy, when you're captaining your captain. You're not using your other rudder. I couldn't say it. You're not using your other rudder. You're not using your other rudder. I want to say rudder, which was interesting because I said that at the boat. That was one of the things. You're not using your other boat. You're not using your other rudder right. There you go. I did correct it to it on like the second take, but it was, as good as as good as I've practiced it. God bless. Like, if you want to change a word and say it differently and hear something abstract, then, buddy, if you have two boats parallel. You have the wind coming from one direction and two boats going other. You need to use one stick then. No, that gets abstract in the mind. One stick is right behind here, man. I'm confused. Honestly, boating for me is interesting. Thinking like, yeah, this goes this way, but when I'm going this way, I'm turning this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of actually like using like left and right, I feel like I use like a circular strafe. You know what I'm saying? I strafe with the mind, which is interesting because I like bunny hopping, and I bunny hopped in the dreams. But it feels like I'm, in terms of like versus driving, a car that goes left when left and right when right, versus a boat where you're kind of like strafing the thing. Heck yeah. At least my mind thinking about that, like how I'm turning this way, but I'm going this way. That's a strafe. If you know anything about strafing. That's a new discovery. It kind of actually makes me, this way, I'm going this way, right? This way. The boat's going this way. Yeah. I think that's funny, yo. That's funny. That makes a lot of sense. It's a strafe. So we're just boats out there, bunny hop. Bunnies don't walk on water either. I guess I don't know what you would call it. a boat, a speedboat. The speedboat might go left when it goes left, though, huh? How's that work? So wait, if I'm looking at this, no, because when you're strafing, turning the motor right, like, you know, if I'm looking at it up at a top down view, if I'm turning that thing to the right side, like a meter left or right, you know, like temperature gauge. Turning that thing left, I'm strafing. I mean, turning that thing to the right, I'm strafing to the left. But turning that thing to the left, I'm strafing to the right. That's easier for me. That's easier to look at that, like, because I can actually physically engage that. Before, I was just taking a circle. Like, I know, like a circle, like a clock, like looking at like, if you ever could wobble yourself behind that fourth wall and look at that clock, you'd notice, whoa, we're backwards now. You'd walk right back through the wall and get right back on the right side of time. But basically, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what you would see. You would see that everything is going different. It's going the opposite direction, even though on the other side it's going the same direction. Right? When this clock is Wait a second. So wait, looking back, if the clock is, you would have to, yep, that's backwards. Right? No. Is that backwards? Looking at that? No? Holy smokes. So wait. It starts at 1 and it goes around clockwise, right? Boom. And you're looking at, but if you look at that, I just walked through the wall, guys. I just was there, walked through the wall. All right, so take the clock, you know, starts at 1, goes around clockwise to 12. Boom. Now we have that set up right in front of us. Boom. Put that like right there. Right around. Now we need to flop ourselves like we're out of strength, getting out of the water, onto the other side of this invisible air wall. Boom, we're there. So now we have the 12 and the 1, which are, the ones are no longer on the right side. The ones, since we're on the other side of the wall, are now on the left side. They were on the right side, but now the 1 starts over on the left. Do you see that now in your invisible space, in your imagination, where we're projecting on the other side of our clock? And now are we seeing this go around? And now, wait a second, what are we seeing? That just went the opposite direction. Although time is the same, the direction is different, correct? No, the direction was the same, right? Let me go back. That was the direction. Back on the other side, that was the direction. That's a different direction, isn't it? This is the direction, that's the direction. Those are two directions. Let me replay it real quick for you. Bada bing, bada boom, like that, you know? Bada bing, bada boom. It is abstract, it is hard to grasp. You kind of got to be there to do it. Do I need to? Am I confident in myself with what I seen? Am I confident? Is everyone confident? Is everyone here confident in what we were all just seeing and viewing? Is it possible to be witnessing? Should I take a vape hit for old time's sakes? Oh, yikes. We'll line them up at least. We'll see how the juice darkens over time. We got them on the cotton too, but realistically it shouldn't, right? Well, it is got like an amber like. Is that darker? No, it's not. It's the same. No, that's not gonna help Eddie. I had a darker. I don't know what is it, amber? Is that what they call it? Is it amber like glass? Like the medical ones, you know what I'm saying? Put iodine in that or something? Is that what you would put in there? Or is that going the blue one? Or is the blue one and the amber one the same? Or is it only blue because it's being stained? But it's really purple, isn't it? Is it concentration? I thought iodine was purple. It might be black. It's either purple, black, or blue. Yikes. It's not and. I guess you would have to put the amber in, huh? Any other colors? Excuse me. Is that even amber? I think so. Amber on a tree. That's like crystallized, right? Or is that sap? Or is sap isn't amber, is it? Is sap a type of amber? How does that work? Time to look it up. Amber versus hazel eyes. No. Amber is fossilized tree sap. In reality, amber is fossilized tree resin, which is chemically and functionally different from sap. Boom. Boom, chocolate. I knew that. I knew that. I forget that though. Let's reinstate that. Reconstitute it. What was I saying? The before iodine, and the vape. Yeah, take a rip. Should I take a rip? That was it, right? I don't know. I guess I was gonna take a break too. Feels like a brick, paperweight. Like hella people be messing around or something. Like hella people be messing around, Hella people be messing around. Like for them to even be timing that like that, and the person from the Discord having the friends that they had added, only had 2 mutual friends added. So that's why I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, might be a little trauma, repairing situation here, which it was. But dang, was that like the timing with the match? The timing with the match, that felt like, ooh, get me out of the spooky house again. And I was saying in my cranium, like, even going to sleep last night, like, come on, guys, like, you guys are all up in the room right now, like, actually, like, all up in the room using things you don't know what, fudge, like, oh my god, like, how unsafe. Like, I'm thinking, like, holy fudge, like, all up in the room, like, finding, like, ooh, look what we just found, let's start messing around with it. And ooh, I don't know whose house you've been in. I don't know who. I don't know. That's why I'm like looking around, like Rugrat, still a Rugrat. Made a sequel of Rugrats. And I mean, I'm still stuck in the Rugrat going to Paris thing, but I don't think it was Paris. It was the one where they're on an adventure. Maybe it was the dream one. Maybe it was a real one. I'm not sure what it is. If it is a real one, then it was a real one, where they're like going to the adventure park, and that was fun. But then, that's like a jokey thing. Mentality wise, like I don't know whose house you've been into. I know you're not at least inviting me over to yours. But if that stuff is all coming from my house and my room, then you've overstayed your welcome with actually miraculously not even actually entering into the residence, which just leaves your face fingerprints. It leaves the design. It leaves me looking like, was your mouth locked for that long? It leaves me feeling like I explained some of the stuff. No, it leaves me feeling like I said, and I am a happy little buoyant bobber. And yo, you guys are interesting experimenters. Got that good old-fashioned American experimentation happening. Holy yeah. That's basically where I wanted to go and how I wanted to say it, and anything else? Did I miss anything? I mean, I'm sure I definitely did. Time flies, and I've been MIA for a little. Those other videos, I didn't know if I was gonna post them. They were kind of silent, but then they also had like random stuff from me being in Discord, but not actually like having that audio from Discord. You're hearing, me like side walk through where I'm not me. I mean, I'm me. Like that's me. But that's like me when I got like the vocabulary chained. That's like me when I got like like the uncle image to maintain. You know? And not uncle image. I mean, if you want uncle image, I guess I got uncle image. Yo, yo, you know it's written all over the walls, right? Like, if you're still over there playing with the stuff that you found from here, then the life force everywhere is, well, positively aware. And I'm just a good boy who just likes resurrection. Every day comes back, resurrects it. Rezzie loves wrecking it now. Rezzie loves wrecking it now. A little rectin. What is rectin? Rectin is like a fail. A resurrection. Rection. Reckon. Rezzie, resurrection. Rezzie reckon. What is he resin? Rezzie's just wrecking. Rezzie does it for fun. I'm done. Should I be? Yeah.